Hey everyone, I have been out, in. I'm in now. I'm gonna have to go out again, but we've got to record, edit, and put this up by tonight. We're here for our cup of tea. Today, teachers, muscles, and family. What do they all have to do with each other? Stay tuned to find out. Hey everyone, teachers, muscles, and family. What do they all have to do with each other? Well, I will tell you. Before I do, let me tell you about this really cool cup. My son wanted me to have it. I was so touched by that. I think we got it from a thrift store, and I wanted to give it to somebody else that, invests in his life as well. Because it says teachers have class, you're super. And when I suggested that to him, he goes, no, I want it for homeschool. And I was so touched by that. So I just had to share that. That's just warms my heart. Oh. And today I'm drinking matcha powder with cocoa, stevia, some whey protein, and some almond milk. Oh, and a little bit of salt, some Himalayan salt. It's interesting. Oh. Well, I've been in and out so much. Excuse me. I better take my headband off. I like to keep my ears warm. And get my coat off. Well, now we're heading into 1 Peter 5. Which is loaded with good stuff from the previous, just like the previous chapters have been. But we will be looking at it from a perspective that is meaningful to us as women today. And let's begin. And I'll read this part really quickly. 1 Peter 5, 1 through 4 says, Therefore I exhort the elders among you, as your fellow elder, and witness of the sufferings of Christ, and a partaker also of the glory that is to be revealed. Shepherd the flock of God among you, exercising oversight not under compulsion, but voluntarily, according to the will of God, and not for sordid gain, but with eagerness, nor yet as lording it over those allotted to your charge, but proving to be examples to the flock. And when the chief shepherd appears, you will receive the unfading crown of glory. There's a lot here, and we will discuss it next week. But it made me think of a very specific instruction that's given to women. And that, if you haven't already heard, is in Titus 2, 3 through 5. It says, Older women likewise are to be reverent in their behavior, not malicious gossips, nor enslaved to much wine, teaching what is good, so that they may encourage the young women to love their husbands, to love their children, to be sensible, pure, workers at home, kind, being subject to their own husbands, so that the word of God will not be dishonored. See, women have a teaching role, specifically the older women to the younger women. Not to mention teaching our children, but that is another topic for another day. I would encourage you to think of yourself as an older woman to anyone younger than you. That is, like in 1 Peter, that you would not be lording it over another person, but rather be an example. Be an example to those younger than you. I recently skimmed through an interesting article that talked about marriages that were studied. This is not necessarily written by a Christian, I don't know if it was, but it was just a study that was done and shared. The observation of couples discovered that when two people responded kindly to each other, more often than not by caring about what the other person wanted to share with them, they were usually a happy, thriving couple 5 years later. For example, look at the beautiful bird outside," says one, and the other spouse stops, takes a look, and cares. Maybe not every time, but like 9 times out of 10. But the couples that answered each other more often with, "I'm busy right now," or "I'm reading, stop bothering me," etc., were often in unhappy marriages or even divorced 5 years later. The article went on to make a point that the thriving couples knew that they need to exercise kindness like a muscle. In other words, whether they cared to look at the bird or not, they knew that exercising the kindness muscle was important, and so they turned their whole self to being interested in what the other had to say or share. So this brings me back to us as Christian women. Why do the older women need to help the younger women to do the things listed in Titus 2:3-5? Wouldn't it just come naturally for them to love their husbands and children and to be kind, etc.? Not always. I think that the action of loving and being kind and other important qualities needs to be thought of as a muscle that needs to be exercised to be strong. So throughout the day, while you're thinking of taking a walk, getting on the treadmill, doing light cardio, lifting small weights for your body's health, consider all day and all night how you will exercise the muscle of kindness towards others, but especially towards your husband and children. That may be more difficult since you live with them every day, but don't wait for the love and kindness to just happen or be felt. Do it. And even if you are not receiving it, give it. God is with you, Christian sisters. And if you find it difficult, look to the Lord for help, which of course you should be doing anyway. Psalm 121 is a wonderful text to meditate on for that. Now, as you are learning to do this, guess what? You are starting to be an example to the younger women around you. They may be much younger or just a couple years behind you, but you can still be that godly example. How about that? I bet you didn't realize that you're in ministry. Well, I think this is a fine time to take a little break and see if the soap that I made recently for fun is ready to come out of its mold and see if it turned out okay. Let's take a look. Right now, let's see if my soap turned out. You want to see, Samuel?
Yeah.
I hope we can do this right. I don't want to ruin it.
Okay, now we need to put this on the Wii U video.
I don't want to push it. I wonder if I should put this in the freezer for a little bit first.
Now we're going...
Uh-oh, it's a little soft under there. No, it's not ready. Okay, all right. It's not ready, so this mini vlog is greatly shortened.
So
I have to add something here. This wasn't a part of my original plan, but it became a part of my original plan just yesterday. Because just yesterday, I was at the post office and the lady behind the counter failed to engage with me very well. Failed to engage well with me. For example, she asked me a question by rote and didn't wait for the answer, but continued to chit-chat with her coworker next to her. Between this and the other concern in our transaction, I was direct with her and certainly not gracious. I was frustrated by the lack of good service. I love feeling justified in one way, but wrong in a bigger way. I thought, I'm about to make a video on kindness soon. And besides, probably no one in that post office will think of me as kind and Christian. It wasn't really my place to show her that she was not doing a good job. It was probably more important to be kind and gracious with her and show her God's love. I hope I learned from that. It's not to say that if someone had to report a concern to management, they couldn't, but in this case, I certainly could have been more kind and gracious, but I was not. Ladies were all learning and growing. So, with that, let me remind myself and all of us to flex that muscle of kindness. Ow, 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 ow. See what I mean? We gotta work on this. I'll see you next week. Thanks for joining me. Hey everyone, I have been in and out today. In and out twice, and I'm gonna go out again and wait, I went. Hey everybody. Oh. I recently skimmed through an interesting article that talked about marriages that were studied. Just a study done and shared. This observation